welcome everyone to Enjoyably Average FPL edition. And with the start of the season only a short way away, I thought I would just do a quick review of my game week 1 side so far, how it's looking, and a couple of plans, a couple of thoughts going further. So yeah, without any ado, let's get into it.
Again on the track.
I've gone with McCarthy from Southampton. I think that he is great. He's very cheap at only 4.5. I'm not a massive fan of spending much on goalkeepers, at least. So yeah, he's a sort of lock in my side, especially with Southampton's really good opening fixtures. So I'm really excited to see how he plays. And then moving on to the defense, without fail, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You can't not have him in your team. Just his points per million value is just unreal. To think that he's a defender that got over 200 points last year, and by quite a long way as well. I think he was the 6th highest top scorer, so he really dominated, and I think it'll be pretty good to have him in your sides. So yeah, if you don't have him, seriously consider getting him in. Next, going on to Doherty over here, who switched over to Spurs from Wolves. I've got a soft spot for him, especially since Wolves' awesome campaign in 2017-18, where he was so cheap, and I think just about everyone had him. So I really like Mourinho, how he plays down the right, and he moves from a back 4 to a back 3 and puts his wing back up there as an attacker. That's why a couple of us had Serge Aurier in our teams last year. But yeah, I think that Doherty is much more attacking than Serge. Serge seems to cross a lot more, and Doherty likes to shoot a lot more. So could we have some shots? I really hope so. I was also trying to just cover some price points, especially beginning of the season, just to, it's easier to jump on and off different points. So you'll see I've got a 7.5 defender, a 6, a 4.5, and a 5. So that was just the thinking, and I've tried to do that throughout the team as well. And also thinking if you have a 6, it's easy to downgrade to someone cheaper. So next up is Vinagre Ruben from Wolves. You've got to love Wolves fullbacks, the way that they get forward, they're a pretty solid defensive side as well, so I really like them. I really back them, I think he's definitely going to start. He's going to play some minutes, especially with Johnny Otto out injured with an ACL for the first couple of weeks. Definitely he'll be starting, and so a very cheap route into a very good defense. The next is James, and he is my differential pick. He's not selected by very much. You can see there 3.9%. So not many people at all have him. And I think he's going to have a breakout season, at least until Chilwell comes in, and then because I think Azpilicueta may start on the left and James on the right, and he's very attacking. He's lots of fun to watch. But he is super young, so it might be a very risky move, but also FPL is about having fun, and I'm not going to get too downed. If he doesn't play, I've got someone who can jump in on the bench, from the bench, Taylor from Burnley. Burnley's pretty good as well, so he's sort of my flurry or finesse pick, because I think he could have a really good season. So then moving on to the midfield, I've got Aubameyang, Salah, Dele Alli, and Souček, and then Aurelio Romeo on the bench. But Aubameyang definitely for the first 2, with Fulham and West Ham. I, as an Arsenal supporter, really back him. I think Arteta's doing good things, and he's going to get his best player involved quite a lot. I'm going to stick the captain's armband on him as well. Which is really cool, really exciting. And then thinking game week 3, either downgrade him into Sterling or KDB. Probably going to be KDB, and he's just going to be a sitter in my team for the whole season, which I'm pretty amped for. Then Mo Salah, you can't yeah, it's tough to go without him. He is cheaper than last year as well, which is really exciting. I think he's going to get lots of points. I think he's going to have a bounce back. Yeah, from the end of last season when he wasn't playing that well, after Project Restart. But yeah, he always starts so incredibly. So I definitely want him in my team for the beginning of the season, if not the whole season. Probably going to be the whole season, but we'll see. Maybe I get brave and try and switch up formation or something like that. But I really like him. And then Dele Alli is potentially just a placeholder to get Greenwood in game week 2. So he's 8 million. I think I've just been watching a bit of preseason. I think he's very cool. I think he's going to play well. And now that Spurs have got Højbjerg there in the central midfield, and he plays a bit deeper. Hopefully that'll allow Dele Alli to get a bit further forward and to get back to his best. That 2017-18 season, he was just unrivaled. He was so exciting to watch. I'm hoping against Everton he can have a really good game before swap him out for Greenwood. And then Souček, I really enjoy him. He's a sort of enabler at the moment because he's so nice and cheap at 5 million only. But yeah, I really wanted to get him in my team end of last season, but yeah, I just had enough team value to be able to splurge in the midfield. But yeah, now at the new season, I really like him. I think he's super good at corners and crosses and that kind of stuff, which means that you can score even against good teams because his fixtures are really, really bad. Looking at all those reds. But yeah, I'm obviously happy to have him sitting as my fourth midfielder to allow me to spend well other sides or everywhere else in my team. But yeah, so I'm happy to stick him in the team. I don't mind if he gets me 2s and then an occasional goal here and there. And then yeah, moving up front, I've got Timo Werner from Chelsea. I think he's the absolute bomb. I think he's going to be a lock in my team. I think he's really underpriced at just 9.5. And yeah, just watching him playing for Germany against Spain, like his composure and the finishing was just, it was ridiculous. He looked so cool, looked so calm, and they've got really, really nice opening fixtures. I really think he's going to get lots and lots of goals. And Chelsea, their attack is just unrivaled this season. Just watching the, Lampard and NFL they call it free agency, but just watching him go and buy all these players, it's sort of like if I was to play FIFA and be the manager for Chelsea, that's sort of what I would do. And he's just doing it, and I think he's doing a really good job assembling a super, super exciting squad. And so the other thing with Dele Alli is if I hold on to him and change Aubameyang out for KDB, I can go Ali to Pulisic, which he had a great season end of last season, and I think that he could do really, really well. So that will just be something to think about. Obviously he's not there in the team permanently. And moving back to my other striker, I've got Danny Ings. I think he's going to have a really cool start to the season. He starts off pretty well with some really nice fixtures. Look at all those greens. So I think he's going to play really well. I'm super excited to see if he can get back to his form of the end of last season where he was just scoring and scoring and scoring. I think 8.5 is obviously going with the price points again. It's very easy to downgrade, say, Antonio gets a good start, or who else can I think of? 6.5, Chris Wood at Burnley, if they get a good start, or Mitrovic. It's very easy to downgrade to them from Danny Ings. So that was my thinking. Obviously, it could be super easy to switch him out for Che Adams and then play 3-4-3 or play 4-3-3. So that's something else which I'm going to have to think about. But so far, I'm pretty happy to have him at least for the beginning. And then moving on to the bench, I've got Nyland as my backup keeper. So he started at the end of last season, and at least until Tom Heaton is back in practice, he should be getting starts. And obviously Aston Villa aren't very good defensively, but it's nice. He costs 4 million, cheapest keeper in the game. So yeah, I thought obviously let's have him, being very cheap at 4. Then Aurelio Romeo, now that Højbjerg has gone across to Spurs, he's probably going to be getting a lot more starts, and he plays like deep in the midfield, so he's not really going to be getting any points, but he's going to be a solid set of 2s every game week. So that was my thinking behind him. And then Brewster, from Liverpool, really young guy. He's the cheapest forward in the game as well at 4.5. So I think if he gets sent on loan somewhere, because I know that Sheffield United and I think it's also Aston Villa are looking for a forward, and I've been chatting with him about a loan. So if he goes there on loan, he'll be either starting or getting a good amount of minutes for only 4.5 million. So I think that's definitely worth having. And so he'll be really cheap. And then Taylor from Burnley, Charlie, very cheap, and it's an easy way into the Burnley defense. So I think he's great. I think he's going to play really well. And Burnley are such a solid defensive team, especially at the end of last year. They were doing really well, and they've got a nice run of opening fixtures. So yeah, that's my team. Hit me in the comments if you have any thoughts or anything that you aren't happy with, or any disagreements, or any questions, or also if you are feeling brave and feeling keen, send me through your starting 11s, comment them down there. And I hope to see you guys soon. Take care, stay strong, and keep going, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching.